Mr. Mojo rising on the case again. So tell your mother and your sister and your sister's friends. Mr. Mojo rising on the case again. So tell your mother and your sister and your sister's friends. Mr. Mojo rising on the case again. So tell your mother and your sister and your sister's friends. Mr. Mojo rising on the case again. So tell your mother and your sister and your sister's friends. Don't get me not why. Gather around.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Drowning in Pools podcast. This is the poverty video game podcast. Like we always say, we don't always say that, but I like saying it now. How's everyone doing?
Broke, I guess.
Broke?
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, if you go look at our points in any fighting game we play, we're pretty broke.
Not in Power Rangers.
What's up?
Not in Power Rangers.
Yeah, you guys seem to be doing pretty dope in Power Rangers.
Not since yesterday.
Oh, what did you drop to?
207.
Oh, damn.
You were like top 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 92 I got to.
And then you met up some real killers, and they were like,
Nope. Not even.
What?
I got kicked out of 8 games in a row.
Oh, dude, that happened to you too? Oh my god.
I got and then I did lose to one person who was about my skill level.
Mm.
The issue is that he was playing one of those people that I just can't mentally get around.
Goldar.
So
Yeah.
Goldar and Black Ranger, I just cannot mentally deal with.
That would make me drop the game forever, dog.
It's not because they're OP or anything of that nature. It's just mentally I go, oh, I can hit them, and then they go,
Nah, man.
but I have buttons.
Well, this is the thing. Like, losing to some guys, yeah, sure, but getting kicked out of 8 games in a row.
Oh yeah, that infuriated me. I went from 93 to 142 just because of those 4, or I think it was like 5, literally 5 games in a row.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I dropped like 100 and something places strictly off of like 3 games in a row that I disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I was hitting. So I started playing last night after I got back from work, and like I think I was like 210 or ish, right? I got up to like 194, and I was like, oh yeah, and I was just gonna play one more, and then I disconnected. I was like, well, that sucks. Disconnected. Well, that sucks. Disconnected. Fuck. And so like I got to like I hit like 400, and I was just like, fuck. And admittedly, like it happened to my opponents sometimes too, but
it did happen to my opponent once.
Yeah. Like I probably won a couple of games I really shouldn't have because it happened to my opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's like the only. I mean, I have other gripes about the game, but that's like the one major gripe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that's not like character balance related. Like, I know it's a small game, but like they really, really need to set these fuckers up.
Yeah, like. There's just a couple things like gripes I have with the game, but yeah, one of them is just if it's going to drop like that, I know you can't just call it a draw because that means rage quitting would be OP.
Yeah.
Because anytime you're about to lose, you can just go, okay, well I'm just gonna rage
quit. Yeah.
Yeah, and no one gets punished, and I don't think that's okay.
Nah.
So I still think
Ball.
Yeah, right. I still think it sucks that you lose tokens and whatnot, but because it's a token system, it's less impactful as losing like actual ranks in like other fighting games where like you drop like 40, 50, 80 points.
Yeah.
Because in Street Fighter, if you lose a match against like someone who you shouldn't lose to, you lose 80 points, 80 to 100.
Jesus.
That's ridiculous amounts of points.
Yeah. But I know Street Fighter's they're hella punishing on that stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like when if you're rage quitting, you get put into a rage quitter jail or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And that is annoying jail to deal with.
Yeah.
I played on Wi-Fi for a little while.
Oh yeah, so you were probably in there for a minute.
I got put in that jail.
It's like being sent to jail for like, I don't know, a petty crime, you know, or some shit that you barely, like, that didn't even really matter. Or, like, you just forgot to pay a fine, and then you got jail time.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I realize that there's no reliable way to deal with this, but I feel like for Wi-Fi warriors, there should be, like, a separate jail, you know?
Mm. I mean, there is a reliable way. I mean, it's just really expensive, you know, just send guys to everyone's house who disconnects and then
beat the shit out of them.
See why they disconnected, and if they rage quit, just beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
There's better ways to deal with it than violence.
I don't know, man. Rage quitters might not deserve more than violence.
You could also spend the money on, maybe a system that tests if your ping is consistent rather than
true.
if it's good or not.
Yeah, because there's some game that it's based on what was it? They were literally talking about on the Best Friends. Well, not Best Friends, the Katsubi's. It's some game that
Killer Instinct.
Is that what it is? Killer Instinct, yeah, where it's based on your system's performance and not that kind of so.
Yeah, it's Killer Instinct. Yeah. Make sure you can run the game, and if you can't run the game, they go sorry.
Yeah, which that would test everything, including your internet, including your GPU and all that shit.
But like, how long does it take to start up the match then?
No, it doesn't. It tests you when you turn on the game, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't test your internet. It tests your PC's performance, though, is it? Because if they did test your internet, then yeah, that'd be great. But no, it just makes sure your PC can run it, so that way there's not
frame
bad feedback. Yeah, it's because if both games aren't synced up, the rollback is terrible.
Yeah, especially a game like Killer Instinct, where a lot of stuff is a whole bunch of wind up.
Yeah, so like you need to have that frame by frame rollback, or else you get shit like Street Fighter.
Fucked up looking game ever. Yeah,
you get shit like Street Fighter.
Teleporting all over the screen and jumping up out of the screen.
I still don't know what causes that, but man, it's hilarious and terrifying at the same time. I feel bad for anybody who has to fight. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sure if they knew, they'd fucking get rid of it, but they probably know. They probably do know what causes it. They just don't know how to stop it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the case for a lot of like technical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we know what this is, but if we fuck with it, it'll fuck something else up.
Man.
Spaghetti code.
Gotta love programming.
Yeah. Seriously.
It's like, okay, we got everything in a very good situation. It all works magically. If we fuck with anything at this moment,
it's like a house of cards.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh man. And then someone breaks it anyways, and they're like,
Right. Yeah. Somebody finds some new way to fuck it up that you didn't even think of, and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah. Just like in League of Legends, there's a way you could buy and resell your items and get infinite gold.
What?
You didn't hear about that?
No, I mean, I assume this was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Because when they put in the undo button, you could upgrade certain items and then sell them for or undo them for more gold than they were worth.
Huh. Interesting.
That's smart. I think Dark Souls is something similar to that.
So you could get infinite gold.
You know what was what that reminded me of was back in like 2012 when Bork came out. There was there was it was like a script, I guess. Because the Bork, like all the cooldowns were client side instead of server side.
Yeah.
Or the item cooldowns were client side instead of server side. So people would set Bork's cooldown to 0 and then just make a macro to like auto activate it anytime anyone was in range, and so you just get insta-deaded by Bork.
Oh wow.
Yeah. if you haven't seen the videos of that, it's the funniest shit ever. I mean, obviously it like wasn't cool while it was happening, but like that shit is hilarious.
Looking back at it.
Yeah,
looking back at it. Did you ever encounter the Karthus as the God bug back in the Season 2, Season 1 days?
No, I didn't.
So Karthus could die and then get rezzed by Mordekaiser, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah.
In his death state. And then he would be back alive with no health bar. He would just be infinite HP Karthus and could walk around and do everything like normal. Forever. And then you could just walk into the opponent's fountain and just spawn kill them. Karthus is God. It's hilarious.
That sounds infuriating.
A lot of the old bugs, man, were like unbelievably strong old bugs.
Yeah. There's a lot of wacky shit.
Like, people complain about how the bugs are now, man.
But yeah, games back in the day would have bugs that were like, this just destroys everything. There's no way I can even play this game now.
Man, do you guys remember back in the days when there was inputs to get cheat codes?
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that shit. That's
That
so
was
weird, thinking about that.
That was such a mechanic in video games that no one even does now without paying money for it.
Yeah, now it's like, here's some DLC, or here's, I don't know, here's some cheats that you can turn on after you beat the game or something.
Did you want to play as a different character in GTA? Here, buy it.
Yeah, exactly. But before it was like, you want a Green Goblin skin? Input this thing. It's like, yes.
Do you want all the weapons in the game? Input this.
Right. Yeah.
Although
games don't do that anymore.
I could see you not being able to do that online, but like in the base game, I feel like you should be able to do that kind of stuff still.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I feel like there is a game I played recently that did that, but it wasn't like anything significant. It was like you could have either gotten it this way, or you could have just played on a hard mode and unlocked it later.
There's a
yeah, I gotcha.
But I can't remember what game it was.
There is a game.
At least one.
Yeah, there's like
there is
a
at least
game.
one.
And Cameron's gone.
Right.
Yeah, I'm making my coffee.
Jesus Christ, dude, shut up. There was one that I was playing recently that had that exact same scenario happened where I could put in cheat codes, but I just didn't. I mean, I didn't.
Right, yeah, it's just unnecessary.
Yeah, but like, it had cheat code options, and I was just like, wow, this is fucking weird. I'm trying to remember what it was though.
It's like a relic of a bygone era. It's just,
yeah.
Like it's like a fun thing that nobody. Because now it's like now it's like it was a fun thing, and now it's like people get upset if you have that kind of shit now, which I don't know why. People think your game is less hardcore or whatever if you have that kind of shit.
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of hit like an industry where like competitiveness and like difficulty is king over actually making a game.
Yeah.
Or like,
'cause now your games are either super casual or like super in depth.
Yeah, like
you know?
I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but like, I mean, like I don't have anything against games that are meant to be difficult, like Dark Souls or that kind of stuff.
Games like that are usually my shit.
Yeah,
I like games that fucking make me cry and make me like furious and make me want to throw the controller.
And like obviously, there's a fucking niche or not niche, but there's a fucking market for that, right?
Yeah.
Like people like that shit. But I don't know, like there are some times that I wish games went back to like Kingdom Hearts, like the original Kingdom Hearts. Like that game was hard, but like it was relatively fair.
It was yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
or maybe Kingdom Hearts 2.
It doesn't need to be.
Kingdom Hearts 2 was like easy as fuck, but like it was awesome.
It was a lot of fun. Like I think people need to like understand that if your game is story based, it doesn't also need to be like
but fuck hard.
Most yeah, it doesn't have to be the most challenging or like Dark Souls. Dark Souls is not really story based technically.
Dark Souls is
lore based.
It's difficult, but it's only difficult because you're still in the process of learning it. Once you get it, once you feel it, it's not hard anymore. Straight up, like it's everything. Like everything you thought was hard before just becomes, oh, this was a skill test, sure, but it wasn't all that really difficult.
Yeah, like
once I knew what I was doing.
It is a. I don't have a better term for it, but active puzzle. Dark Souls is an active puzzle, where it's, instead of like being able to solve the puzzle and you have to look at it and whatnot, you have to be able to solve the puzzle in motion before you die. That
is true, yeah, because I see what you're saying, yeah, because once you kind of know what you can do in the situation, like you got a mob of enemies that are like patterned out in a certain way, once you know what you're doing, that mob you can kill without getting touched once,
Yeah.
Like, difficult enemies that were before that seemed insurmountable become a joke.
Yeah.
Because you know how to dodge around them, you know how to hit them in a specific way, your weapons are strong enough.
The last story game I played, I think, was GTA.
5?
GTA. Yeah, I think it's the last story game I played.
Can you really call that a story?
Well, I mean, it was okay. It was actually pretty good.
I mean, the single player definitely has a story.
Yeah, sure, but I mean,
I'm trying to think if I played it. Oh, I guess what's it called? The one samurai game that I just played recently with time stop and whatnot.
what?
The one that you told me to play.
Oh, Sakura.
No, not that one.
Yeah.
Samurai thing with time stop. You mean Fire Force? That's not a game.
Game. It has the guy who can stop time and slash across the screen.
You gotta be way more specific.
Oh my god. Katana Zero.
Oh yeah, okay. What the fuck are you talking about? He doesn't technically stop time. He slows down time, but whatever.
Slows down time, yeah, but
that's why
he also goes back in time.
Yeah, he can also rewind time. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. I was just blanking, so I had to go and actually look at the icon. Like I can memorize the icon. I knew exactly what it looked like.
Yeah.
It's so fucking bad with
I think
names.
the icon literally says Katana Zero on it, so
It does. That's why I was like, I'm gonna just go look. I'm gonna just go look at it. I know there's words on there.
Funny. But yeah. Even that, like, no, Katana Zero is more just straight up hard.
Yeah, it's more challenge based rather than.
It's not a puzzle necessarily. Like you might do the exact same thing that you always do, but you might get shot this time.
Yeah.
You know?
But like, I was gonna say that's technically a story game, but it's not really.
Yeah, because that's the kind of game where once you beat the story, the real shit is in the time trial and time attack stuff. You know, like it's got a pretty decent story. It's got like a Hotline Miami-esque story, but everything else, like the harder difficulties that has more enemies, is going to be later on with the extra stuff.
I found out. I figured it out. All right, my last story-based game that I played is 100% Mirror's Edge.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
that is.
But I played that last.
I was gonna say you played that recently.
Yeah, I played that last year.
Okay. Yeah, dude. Honestly, I have the computer version of Mirror's Edge, but once I get to this like one specific level, it just like PowerPoint butt fucks my computer, and I just can't get past it.
I need to replay the game because I finally figured out how to get it to work with my controller. So I need to play it on the controller because I played it on keyboard and that was god awful.
Yeah, and like I enjoyed the game and like everything else ran fine. It's just that once I got to this one point, it just chugged.
I gotcha.
I think I might own it on Steam, but I've never played it. I've never turned it on.
It's quite a bit of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I really like the movement mechanics. I just suck dick at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know if you use a gun ever, you're garbage at the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to try to speedrun it one day.
One day. Isn't it like a really fast speedrun? Like like a few minutes or some shit like that?
I don't know if it's that low, but yeah, it's a fast one for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like small little tricks that you can do, like getting across the beam. Mm-hmm. There's this technique where you bunny hop over it, so you keep landing and jumping off it, then landing and jumping off it, so that way you never go into the teeter-totter pose, which takes forever to cross.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I would love to try to speedrun it one day. I mean, it's got a lot of tools to help practice your speedruns too. There's just practice mode where you go through stages and you just do them as fast as possible.
Stay tuned for Cameron's speedrunning channel. I press the buttons really fast.
Oh my, that's straight up what it become, dude. I fucking hate you.
I don't know if I talked about
that one's free, Cameron.
That one's free.
I don't know if I talked about this on. I know I talked about it on stream. I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast yet, but Code Vein.
Oh yeah.
Did I talk about this last week?
I think you mentioned. Yeah, I think you talked about it. I think
you talked about it for a brief moment, but have you gone further?
Oh well, a little bit. So I put in about 10-12 hours into the game. 12 hours.
Okay.
So the game is fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it moves a little bit faster than Dark Souls or Bloodborne. It's a little bit more anime, so you get to do a little bit more hacking.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not surprised it's faster. It's more anime. So.
Yeah, but I think that's I think that's a really big strength because like it really draws me in because I feel like I have more like ability to control the flow of combat, which is something I like in games. Like part of the reason I own all the Dark Souls games, I own Bloodborne, but I've never beaten any of them because it sometimes feels like I don't have a choice in how I play the game, and that really turns me off of shit.
Okay.
But
you definitely don't have less control over the combat. You're waiting for opponents to attack you more often. You're waiting for your opportunity to strike in those games more often.
Yeah. So there is a parry mechanic in Code Vein. There's also a mechanic where if you get behind someone, even in the middle of combat, you can just one-shot, or not one-shot them, but you'll essentially do the same, like, special move as your parry, which I think is a nice touch.
Yeah.
So
wait, you can backstab without running up, or without slow walking?
Yeah. You need to.
Because I imagine it's not like sneaking up on something in Dark Souls.
Well, I guess in Dark Souls you can still get the backstab without sneaking up on them.
You just have to catch them real fast. Because once you aggro them, they'll turn around really fast.
Yeah. So like, but the thing is, because of how the rolling works and how fast you recover, you can catch people in the back.
Okay.
There is also the sneak attack. It's the same thing essentially. It's just that it also functions in combat.
Yeah, I think Demon Souls did that too. Well, actually, I know for a fact Demon Souls did that too.
Yeah. The other thing is that you don't need to charge attack. It's just like it's just a regular attack button.
I gotcha.
So anyway, but it's really fun. And the other thing I like is that I'm not weighed down to a specific class. Like you are.
Is it multiple classes? Is it like multiple classes you can kind of switch in and out of, or is it like you don't really have it? That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. So
you press start. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
This is your segment.
When you go into when you go to customize your weapons and shit, there are these things called blood codes, and that's your class. And so like there's like the big heavy hitters, and then there's like the assassin ninja kind of like fighters, and like there's the one-handed like weapons almost. Fighters. Yeah. And then there's magic users, and there's like a gun class. Which the gun class is kind of useless, but like,
really, the gun class is useless. Like it does just not do a lot of damage.
Well, the issue is that
not worth it.
Okay, so it's like everything that guns do, magic essentially just does better, and so why would you ever use guns?
It's my argument I've been making for like all my life.
Like, the issue is that guns have a very limited range. Guns are good if you need to AoE something down. You can hold down the charge shot and it'll shotgun shit. But like it doesn't have enough pushback. It doesn't have enough knockdown. It costs like doing the charge shot costs the same as like your basic magic missile. And it just damage wise it just does not compare for DPS.
So it's just useless?
It's
not like in like let's say like Devil May Cry where it helps you extend a combo.
No. I mean like
it's just useless.
I mean it's possible that like I think with the right setup, you probably can make it like work. And I think as a support class, it's actually probably really overpowered. But like, it's probably something where you have to play the game to like the really like high skill cap for it to actually be like pretty viable.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you play with friends, you probably could get away with it if someone else holds out.
All right, so that was gonna be my next question. How is the co-op? Because I know there's you get like a CPU partner or whatever that helps you, and I know people have said that they help a little too much.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Okay.
The one thing that they give you, which I like because it takes some of the bullshit out of the game, is that they can heal you. But it also takes from their HP, so they take from their HP and give it to you.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, they generally do the right things at the right times. It's more or less like having another player. But, so like, it's nice for me because I've never played any of those games co-op.
Okay.
And I like not necessarily, like, I feel like the game would be pretty doable if I just didn't want to change classes. If I just stuck with like one class and really got to know it, then it would be like pretty doable. But like, there are definitely some bosses that I feel like kind of require you to use specific classes, and I feel like you probably wouldn't have enough like time in between bosses to like really get the feel of those classes unless you already knew what was coming up.
So it basically wants you to. It's like trying to have its cake and eat it too, where it wants you to learn a specific thing, but it also wants you to use them all.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't need to learn. Like the only reason you need to learn a specific thing is like if you really want to like play that class only. But there's a couple of like the bosses that like if you play like the heavy class, then you're just never gonna be able to hit them. Like,
right.
Maybe I'm underestimating people's skill levels here, but like those fuckers move so fast, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say there's also things where you can later in the game. I think I don't know if it's early or later. I heard the the Super Beast Cast guys talking about it. Man,
Castle Super Beast.
Castle Super Beast. Yep, there we go. It's so hard getting used to not calling them the best friends anymore. Nevertheless, they're talking about it, and they're saying where you can custom create classes, basically, towards the end of the game, where you can take some of the fighters' skills and put them onto other of the melee classes.
Oh yeah, no, that's like that happens within your first hour.
Okay, so yeah, so I feel like when you're saying like certain classes are not good, it might be they're not good until you customize them with other classes.
Yeah, see, that's what I was about to talk about.
Okay.
Was that the gun class? I feel like just requires I think there might be a skill later in the game that makes it really work. Mm-hmm. But like with what I have currently, it just does not seem to be that viable.
I got
and
it.
Understand that I've unlocked like 12, like 10 or 12 blood goats. Like I've unlocked 10 or 12 classes.
Yeah.
And like some of them are range classes, some of them are like rangers or hunters or like, you know, fucking whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like they just aren't that good.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff that like increases. There's a skill that increases the amount that your projectiles do, which you think would be really good, but like the other thing is that your ammunition is the same thing that you use to cast all these other spells too, and so you can run out of ammo really fast.
Gotcha.
So, and like there's a spell or there's like a I don't know what the fuck they're called skill, gift, that's what they're called, whatever. That allows you to take from your HP bar and give yourself more ammunition, essentially. So it's like the Bloodborne, like the blood bullets or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. Like that game is something. I mean, like it's really fun, but like there was this thing that happened, and like I was stuck for probably about, I don't know, 2 hours on stream because I didn't check this one crevice that didn't show up on the map. Essentially, I had to walk behind a fucking truck that I didn't even know you could walk behind. And there was a giant fuck-off hole that I had to drop down. And then there was an entirely new area down there.
I was going to say, I know there is a part where you're supposed to chase a guy. Might be the same. There's a part where you're supposed to chase a guy, and then you don't chase him, and there's a secret boss fight.
Isn't that an Astral Chain?
Is it? I'm not
Pretty sure that's an Astral Chain.
I don't know.
A game which I also haven't gotten around to. But
yeah,
pretty.
DeShon,
DeShon, almost positive that's an Astral Chain.
Are you sure?
I just watched the podcast last night.
Okay.
Anyway, but like, so I was supposed to go to this fucking like ladder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then people are like, what's supposed to happen is that I actually beat the boss that was, like, I beat the levels out of order essentially.
Okay.
Because I went on directly from like the first big boss that you fight.
Yeah.
And there's like a path that goes right behind her, and so I was like,
hold
I'll
on.
just take that path.
Was it really out of order, or was it there's just a different path to go on? 'Cause that's what a lot of Souls games do, where it's not you could go forward after this boss, but there's that path you miss back this way that you could have gone down that has another thing.
I mean, like, I kind of need to do them. I mean, I don't have to do them in order, but I definitely had to get this other place done.
Okay.
But like, I didn't even know about it, right? Because I'm not the kind of person that fucking looks behind every single fucking truck, you know, like.
Right. Yeah.
Like I get it, but like
touching
essentially it
every
was
wall.
like truck, and then like, you know, like they created an opening with another truck that was set slightly farther back, but it was like in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Like it was in this random corner of the map, And it was just like, how the fuck? Like, obviously other people have found it, and like, obviously this is just my issue of exploration. But like, with a game that's so narrative focused and generally just kind of tells you where to go, it was weird that this was not like this wasn't an optional thing. This was a required boss fight. Like, this was a required area. Also, that area sucked. Like, I had to fight the boss there, and she was I forget what the fuck she's called. She's like the assassin something, or like the entranced assassin or some shit like that.
Was this the one you're having trouble with on stream?
Yeah, it is.
Gotcha. Okay.
So are the bosses just not fun? Because that's the second boss where you've been like, eh.
I mean,
you haven't really seemed like you've enjoyed it.
Seems okay. So this one was difficult because she was a poison. Or she wasn't poison. She was a slow user.
Oh, great! That's always fun.
Yeah, and on top of that, she had moves that would hit you while you were in your downstate. So you know how like in Dark Souls and stuff, like if you get knocked down within the first like X frames, like you're kind of invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she hits you during that shit.
Okay.
So like, if you get knocked down, like she had this one sliding move, right? If you get hit by the sliding move and you're getting knocked down, she can hit you again.
Oh.
And on top of that, she can combo into her next, because her slides usually come in twos. So if you get hit by the first one, she'll drag you with her to the next part, and then she does like a twirl that does damage, and then she starts up another one. So you can get hit by 3 things in the span of like, I shit you not, probably less than a second.
She's sitting here getting juggled and shit. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean like, and it's fine if that was the case for, like, I mean most bosses have like multi-hit attacks. That's not something necessarily new, but like considering that those are 2 separate like attacks, and like
that combo into each other.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't have. This isn't like the option of like, oh, I fucked up and got hit by something, and like then I fucked up again. This is the option of like, I fucked up once and now my literal entire health bar is gone.
Yeah, now I'm gonna be punished. I'm gonna take this boss's entire moveset because I fucked up once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like playing the top players in Power Rangers, where if they get a straight hit, you're dead. Like that's just the character gone.
That's kind of how River City Girls bosses were, where you be totally fine and then you fuck up once and then you get hit by everything they had.
Yeah,
because you couldn't recover.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? And the other thing is like, it's just like Dark Souls, where the healing mechanic is very, very slow.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I think it's a bit faster, but I think if they really wanted to make it fair against certain bosses, they needed to add like a fucking heal speed buff. Because against that boss, if you like the slow mechanic already, I don't know if it inputs your shit slow or if it makes your character's movement slower, but like it feels like every time that you try to do something, it's just underwater.
Gotcha.
And like, it was bad. I was not having fun. But I eventually beat her because I just played a caster, and then I let my AI tank it mostly, and then just shot like fucking 2k damage missiles from across the screen. Went in for like to hit her for ammunition, because that's how you can get ammunition back, is by hitting her. And then just back the fuck out and stayed full screen again. But it was just like, and like a gun build that wouldn't work because guns only have a limited range. That's the other thing that pisses me off about the gun build, is that magic just goes farther. Like, magic locks on and goes farther.
It just makes guns completely pointless.
Yeah, what the, like, why would I ever bother using a gun if magic locks on and goes farther? I don't understand. Anyway, so I mean, I'm really hoping there's something that makes the gun build to work, because the bayonets are probably the coolest looking weapons in the game. Like, I think the guns in the game look super sick. They just suck. Like, but yeah, no, like it's been a fun game, and like the enemies, I feel like for the most part, like the regular enemies are well designed. They have attack patterns that I can get down. Most of the time when I get hit by a regular enemy, it's like, oh, I fucked that parry up. But like, some of the bosses are really, really infuriating.
Yeah. How are the levels though? Like getting to the boss, are those fun?
Yeah, for the most part. Okay. I got to this new. It's called the Cathedral. I got to this new part, and it's like in the cathedral, kind of in the sky, and there's parts in the floor that are just like gone. And I fell into the same fucking hole twice. and I was so mad.
Jesus.
Well, because it's in like you go right around a corner and it's just there, you know.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me twice. Well, the second time I think I dodge rolled into it.
Thank you, Dark Souls.
So it was just like, well, fuck this game. But yeah. So I mean, overall the level design seems fun. Enemies like there's a couple of enemies that kind of pop out of nowhere, but like you're supposed to die in these games, so like you'll figure out where the enemies are.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dark Souls do that all the time, where a fucking enemy just pops up out of nowhere, and you're like, "There's no way I could have known he was there."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and that's basically it. Also, I keep forgetting to guard, and I think that's an issue. But like,
Oh yeah.
For the most part, it's fun. Like I would say, like 90% of the game is fun, and then there's just 10% infuriating bosses.
I
Yeah.
forgot. How is the blocking mechanic in that game?
I don't fucking know. I haven't used it. Like,
Okay.
the parry mechanic is fantastic.
Hey, man,
yeah.
if you like games where you don't block and only parry, you should play some more Bloodborne.
Yeah, it's true.
See, that's why I was asking, because I really like blocking in Demon Souls. I very much did. I carried around a giant two-handed weapon in one hand and a giant shield in the other, and still didn't have fat rolling.
Yeah, that's like one of the things that's kind of new is that because I was watching a video about Code Vein, and apparently it only counts whatever weapon you have equipped, or not equipped,
Yep.
but like are currently using, rather than the ones that are actually on your character.
Yeah.
And there are classes that'll change whether or not something's heavy or slow, faster, medium. And so it's just like there's a lot of min-maxing you have to do, but
Yeah, like putting a pipe in your hand.
yeah. I will say I like the story, and I like how much, I won't say it holds your hand, but that's what it feels like compared to other Soulsborne games, you know, where like
because all Dark Souls and Bloodborne, they don't tell you fuck.
yeah, I like that there's like a central narrative that I can kind of follow.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Admittedly, they exposit a little too much, but I like
That's anime though.
yeah,
That's
I
what
just
anime
fucking
does.
like that they're giving me something to actually look for, you know. It's not just like, oh,
Yeah.
I want to see what the next challenge is. It's like, oh, I want to see what the fuck is happening next. So I think that plus like the gameplay of Dark Souls Dark Souls but easier is like a good combo. I really like it.
Okay, well that's nice.
Nice.
Glad you were enjoying.
Yeah.
What would you give it so far, like, out of 10?
If you take out the two annoying bosses, I'd give it like a fucking 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Like it is
Okay.
that fun to play, you know.
When I first was hearing about this game and seeing stuff about it, I was like, not really impressed. But I've been seeing good things about it.
Yeah, no,
Everybody seems to like it.
it's fantastic. It's the only issue is you'll probably find it too easy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it is like if I can get pretty far in the game without dying too many times besides the bosses, like, you know, a game's pretty easy. So like
Okay.
you'll probably find it a little bit too easy, but then you could just feel like a god amongst anime characters. So
Man, I don't think you give yourself enough credit, Derek.
I mean, I'm
you
bad
might
at those
just be
fucking
really good at
games.
this.
I'm bad at those fucking games. I mean, like if it was Call of Duty and I'm just racking up the leaderboards, like yeah, sure, but like I am bad at Soulsborne games because I like to attack.
Yeah.
So I will say I think this game favors attacking rather than defending and parrying. So it kind of fits my playstyle more, but
That's what Bloodborne is. I think Bloodborne is all about aggression. Like,
Yeah.
It even wants you to dodge towards things. Like, when you're playing Bloodborne, you'll get hit a lot if you try to dodge away or to the side.
Yeah.
You gotta go in and start attacking them.
yeah, Code Vein's a lot the same way. Like
Yeah.
that fucking assassin boss that I was talking about. The way to get through her shit is to dodge through it, not to dodge away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I gotcha.
yeah, but no, it's really good. It's really good.
Dope.
They have just a lot of like passive mechanic. I don't know what the fuck to call it. Like status afflictions that they don't really tell you
passive
shit
buffs
about.
or passive debuffs.
Yeah, well, it's like the first or the butterfly boss, which is like the second boss you get to. She poisons you, and there's no fucking way you would have gone in knowing that unless you had already gotten hit.
Status ailments, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the boss that I just beat gives you slow, and it's like unless you do like these specific things, you're not gonna have a class that deals with that. So
Right.
it's a little but it's still a good game. I don't know.
You're like, I'm still lukewarm on it, but I love it.
No, I mean,
Right,
I
yeah.
love the game. There's a couple of bosses that just like fuck
They
me.
make you rethink some stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's just like these bosses would be fantastic in a game where, like, you had better options to actually like hit them, or actually let me say the one thing that really pissed me off that I found out recently, which was that if you parry bosses, you get nothing off of it.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've parried bosses successfully a couple of times.
You should get more than you would get off a regular enemy.
Yeah, but you don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Weird.
are you parrying that one move, or is it just like generic moves?
In general.
Okay,
Like,
because there's in most boss fights, there's that one move that even if you parry it, it doesn't technically count because they're in an animation state type thing.
Yeah, but like
where they'll still take damage, but they won't they won't move or flinch or anything like that.
Yeah, no, it's because like I did it against the butterfly one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, this is a fast parry, I'll be able to react to it, and then I swapped to a slow parry because I keep parrying too early. And so I swapped to a slow parry, and then I parried the attack, and then I was like waiting. I'm like, "Where's the animation?" And then just jack shit happened, and then I got hit, and I was like, "Well, fuck!" Like,
that's dumb.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
Yeah.
Essentially, all it does is it gives you like free armor, but like, it doesn't matter. Like, you should just dodge roll and hit anyway. So,
Yeah, like,
Did you know you could parry bosses in Soulsborne games?
I did.
Did you know you can shoot bosses in the face in Soulsborne game and make them
Yeah.
crumple to the floor?
I
It's
did.
one of the coolest things ever.
Well,
It is one of the coolest things ever.
yeah. So it's just like it's a little wonky, and I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong. But the fact that I don't get hit means that the parry should have gone through. Like,
Yeah, the parry goes through, yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Well,
Admittedly,
is the parry connected to the block at all? Because maybe it's just you're getting the block and not the actual parry.
no, the parry is a completely different button.
Okay.
So, and like the parry has an animation, and the block kind of. I mean, the block has an animation too, but like very different, right?
No, right, yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe like I could be doing something wrong, but like in those games, I'm not leaning towards mashing my controller after a parry, and so like maybe I'm just supposed to be hitting buttons, but I just don't.
Right.
I don't know what the issue is. So. Okay, I'm done. I've been talking about this game for like 15 minutes. I'm done.
No, you're good.
That's good,
You're
dude.
good because I think we're just gonna start like phasing out our weeks anyways, unless we actually did stuff.
We're just gonna start going into what we did, or just games and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, just talking in general.
Yeah. I mean, I mostly just played that and fucking Power Rangers. That was my week.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my week was literally just Power Rangers and MTG.
Yeah.
Mine. Wait. Oh, MTG.
Yeah.
They said MTV. I was like, why?
Why?
I kick you
Yeah,
off
no,
the podcast.
no. I'd be like, why myself? I'd be like, why am I wasting? Oh, I also watched a shit ton of Mob Psycho, but like, I'm
sweet.
getting, yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah.
It's a good show. I'll let you know how I feel about it once I finish
Once you
season
finish
2.
it, yeah. Have you caught up at all on Fire Force?
Yeah, there's no more episodes after 11,
So
right?
I've been. Well, no,
That's
it's a. They had 2-week hiatus, but it's back this week.
Okay, so I haven't watched it this week then.
So I've been reading further into it. It's just Full Metal Alchemist.
That's beautiful.
It's Full Metal Alchemist, but like with fire people. It's so weird because there's like a big conspiracy. The country is fake. The religion is fake.
Well, okay. Let's not like spoil everything yet. But
Well, I mean, it's kind of obvious from even from like where you are. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah, those two statements you just made, I completely believe. However,
I won't tell you why, but yeah, I'll tell you that. You know.
Yeah, I'm quite excited to see where the show goes.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It gets really crazy and starts introducing some stuff that I'm like, what? This turned into a completely different series.
Yeah, I'm quite excited for that shit.
Yeah.
That and I'm trying to think of what anime I'm going to do after Mob Psycho. I think I'm just going to get caught up in JoJo. I might just
Yes,
JoJo.
please catch up on JoJo so I have somebody to talk about JoJo with.
Because man,
Holy shit.
I absolutely love JoJo. It's just I got to a point where I'm just like, I forgot what I was, because I'm still in season. Well,
It's
not
seasons.
Parts.
Yeah,
I think I'm in part 3. That's where I think I am.
with Jotaro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm currently at like this graveyard area where this old woman is telling them to come into the hotel.
Oh no! Okay, yeah,
But I don't remember how I got there.
Oh well, you
So-
should probably rewatch it then.
I'll probably just go back like 2 episodes and I'll.
Well, in fact, you start at just fuck that. Start at part 2. Just go to part 2 and start there.
Well, I know what happens in part 2. Like I still remember part 2 just fine.
Okay.
Especially how what's it called all of or not deals, but how all the Pillarmen stuff and whatnot. I remember all that. I remember all of that. That's like clear as day.
So you know what's crazy about the Pillarmen is that they're not vampires.
They're not
technically.
vampires. Okay.
They eat vampires, and humans who use those masks to turn themselves into Pillarmen are vampires. But the Pillarmen themselves are not vampires.
Are not. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's pretty cool. Also, JoJo is all about like classic monsters, which is awesome.
Yeah, I can tell.
Especially in the later parts where there's like zombies and fishmen and
Get
like
some Frankensteins in there somewhere.
Frankenstein. There are velociraptors, which like werewolves.
Velociraptors.
There's ghosts and aliens and time travel. So
this show is just awesome.
Yeah.
Like I stopped watching it just because I binged all the way up to where I was.
Oh yeah.
And then I started watching some other anime I can't remember. And that's
Probably
why
Air Gear.
Yo, Air Gear's so fucking good. It's so bad. It is gutter trash, but it's so good.
Dude, honestly, I feel like the more that you can just appreciate the fact that something is bad, that's when you just enjoy life.
Yeah, it's true. When you start looking at it, like, you know what, this sucks, but I love it. So
Me with any harem manga.
Is my well, Air Gear wasn't a harem.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
I'm trash.
Anyways.
And that's okay.
I got you. I can get behind that. But no, Air Gear is my favorite manga. Just absolutely favorite.
You tried to get me to watch the anime, but I just couldn't do it.
So yeah, the anime is nothing compared to the manga. I know everybody always says that, but like, literally, the manga is so fucking good.
Yeah.
So let's just put it in perspective. The end of the book, they have to make a simulation to show how much damage the two people would do with rollerblades, so they won't actually destroy the world.
Jesus.
Did you say rollerblades?
Yep.
These two people have things called regalias, which are like badass rollerblades, and the main character and the main villain, if they were to actually fight each other, would destroy the world.
Here, it's the classic, shonen thing of, let's take this stupid ass thing children do and make it god level, so now I can destroy the earth.
Like the ending of Naruto.
Like
much.
or
like Beyblade.
Yeah, or like Beyblade.
Dude, Beyblade was the shit. I love that stuff.
Yo,
You know the best part?
Beyblades.
You know the best part?
The anime
Beyblades.
was actually really good.
You know what the best part was? That if you had the toys, you didn't need two people.
Right, yeah, exactly. You could just do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know the other best part was? The fucking faces, man. When they got rid of the faces, I was so pissed.
Oh, like where you could customize them?
No. So, like, there's little time... Like, the whole point of Beyblades, like, the actual, like, game Beyblades, before, like, they got updated, was you would play, and if your piece got knocked into little holes in the outside, you'd lose, or if the face of your Beyblade popped off, because the face represented your soul.
Yeah.
Oh, they used to do that. Yeah, where you would get beat
Okay.
and then the thing would
You're
pop
saying
off.
faces. I thought you were saying bases.
Yeah,
Oh,
they were
no,
called.
yeah,
those things were
faces.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're... I forget what they're called, but my
They're
favorite
called
was
like
just
your
Kaiser
bit
Dragoon.
chips they're called your bit chips or whatever.
Yeah. Kaiser Dragoon was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the main characters.
I like
fucking anime.
I like Kai's.
I just like to say Kaiser Dragoon.
Kai was the edgiest edgelords of edgelords at the time.
He was one of my favorites. Hell yeah.
I
He was the shit.
I really like. I don't know. I just really like edgelords. I think they're so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I rewatched that show with my sister when she was like little.
I really want to rewatch some of the anime that I've been missing.
Just watch.
Yeah.
I want to too, but I'm just gonna rewatch the first anime because I'm pretty sure that's the only one that's even worth checking out. And even then, it's probably just nostalgia talking.
Yeah.
For Beyblades.
Yeah, for Beyblades.
100%. It's like the first season of Pokemon where it's like it seems like a good idea, and then you start doing it, you're like, oh.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh no! But like with Beyblades, at least you have the the beautiful animations to go with it. Because watching the Beyblades actually fight was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that shit was always hype.
They had some pretty dope 3D for back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. You know what was cool when it came out was the fucking controllable Beyblades, the big ass ones.
Oh yeah. I used to have one.
Yeah,
I bought one of those,
cool.
and mine
it never worked properly.
Yeah, exactly.
It never worked. Yeah, it never worked properly.
So I mean, obviously it worked, fucking swindling us out of some money, but
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no, like
I can't. Why aren't you listening to me, Kaiser Dragoon?
Yeah, I legitimately when I was a kid thought it was because I didn't believe hard enough.
Well, when I lived in England, we had actual tournaments, and I got I forget the one I was using at the time, but I got mine up to level 8.
Oh, that's funny. Level 8? How do you know what levels they were at?
Who fucking knows? For kids?
You just tell yourself.
Yeah, we basically were like, if you win a battle, you level up. If you win 2 battles after that, you level up. And then I was like, okay, well, at some point I got to level 8.
Wow.
I remember I bought a shit ton of these fucking things, though. Like the basic
so.
ones, just to customize them.
I still have mine.
I'm sure mine are somewhere, but I feel like I got rid of most of them.
God, Beyblades are fucking amazing.
Dude, I miss that shit.
Mine were all destroyed over time.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I used to play on the ground, and I realized that fucked up the ball bearings.
Yeah, that was the shit where they would specifically tell you, hey, don't play on the concrete, play with our specifically branded,
Plastic.
dome or whatever the fuck. Yeah, our bullshit that had our stickers all over it. Nah, fuck that. We were playing all over the street. We were playing all over the gravel.
The best Beyblade that I had, or it was my brother's actually. He put the Dragoon's base in the bottom, so it had the aggressive base, and then it had the top half was the rollers.
Mm-hmm.
So each there's 4 corners, and each of them had a little pinwheel that rolled.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a defensive top with an aggressive base. It would just smash into other people's Beyblades and couldn't get hurt because
pieces. Yeah, because they couldn't touch it.
Yeah, because it was just a circle on top.
Yeah.
So it would just smash into other people's
Such
pieces,
bullshit.
and it couldn't get. It had like no recoil. You would hit it, and your piece would just spin off it. Oh, I would lose all the fucking time because of that shit.
Yeah, I feel like the best ones, the best ones that I made. Admittedly, the only person that actually played the fucking game that was around me was me. But the ones that seemed to work well were the aggressive ones with like a lot of like spikes on the top, and then just really heavy set bases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Man, now that I'm older and I have money, why the fuck isn't this thing a thing?
It is a thing at cons.
It is a
people
thing. I was gonna
play.
say, recently at C Otaku or whatever, the fighting game tournament in Florida, they had a big thing about it.
Yeah,
they had a Beyblade tournament.
but like
People are doing it.
I know, but like it's not easy to come by.
Well, because it's Beyblades.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, why is it?
Bakugan motherfuckers you see?
Oh, dude, I still have Bakugan stuff at home. I had them in a Yu-Gi-Oh tin somewhere.
Y'all were into Bakugan. I was checked out by the time Bakugan.
No. I wasn't into Bakugan, but guess what? I went and turned down someone giving me shit for free.
I think I bought like the starter pack because I thought the idea was really cool.
Hey, why not?
And then I read how to play the game, and I realized this isn't a game. Like,
yeah, it's just here's some toys.
I know, like it came with like a booklet of like quote unquote how to play, but I was just like, this doesn't make any sense.
I will
this
say
is barely a game. It's barely just to sell toys.
The game was whack. However, the toys were fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, the toys were cool. Like,
it's a cool idea.
They're like,
I like the toys essentially. I thought they were the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. It's a shame Pokemon and Digimon did it first.
Did they?
With the Pokeballs?
Well, Pokeballs and Digimon had like the little roller toys that you could roll them out and they would evolve into their bigger forms.
Oh, I see.
That's another anime we need to go back and watch is Digimon. Because I actually saw a video recently.
It's so fucking good. It makes Pokemon look like trash.
Yeah.
Yo, the new Digimon anime apparently is good too. Like the new,
what's called Try or whatever.
Yeah, where it's
new one.
It's the original characters, but they're all grown up.
Yeah. Because it's their third series or whatever. Because there was the original series, then there was 2, which was like the new kids, and now there's 3.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually 5 because
there's a bunch more that have nothing to do with the original kids.
I remember watching. I think it was the third series that came out. It was the first one where it didn't have the original people. And
that was a good one.
And
that
was
okay.
See, I never got into it because I always like character connected, and so
Which one was
Gotcha.
that? That was
I don't.
It was the
fucking
one
know.
with the blue guy with the X on his chest.
That was 2. That was season 2 or
Yeah.
Kids 2 or whatever, Group
Kids-
2.
it
whatever
was-
the fuck
it was-
it
Yeah, it was the first group that didn't have any of the original cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the original
Well-
cat, like, because Ty gave his goggles to the new kid and everything, and that was
Yeah.
the
I was
passing
gonna
of the torch.
say. Yeah, it had the original cast in there every now and then, but they were
Yeah, they would pop.
cameos.
They would pop in and be like, "Remember us? Remember how cool we were?"
And then years later, they're like, "Oh, by the way, we're adults now. We're
Yeah,
actually cool now."
Yeah, we're back, motherfuckers. What's his name? Because it had the little sister and the little brother on the team now.
Mm-hmm.
The little sister who wore her weird hooker outfit.
Yeah.
It was like skin tight, but she was like 13 or some shit.
Yeah, I mean,
kinda
it's not
weird.
very far off
Hey.
of 13-year-olds now.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's all right.
That's dark.
Dude, I work at Disneyland. I've seen some shit.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, no, I was gonna say, at the age, there's nothing weird about it. It's just like, oh, look at the pretty girl.
I feel like
But
I was
now-
a little bit too young for that because I feel like Digimon, the original Digimon, came on when I was like 7.
Yeah, that's when I was watching it.
I was into girls at the age of 7. All right.
Okay, I'm sure you were.
I'm 7-year-olds
You
though.
weren't into your toys and your shit. You were into girls.
Yeah, actually,
Okay.
but only if the girls like my toys.
Okay.
So wait, did you want to fuck your
No,
Transformers?
no. Let him live in his lie.
Okay. Whatever.
I'm not even I'm not even lying though.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Anyways, Digimon's a cool show.
It's good. It makes Pokemon look like shit. If anyone tells you that Pokemon's better, they're lying and they've never seen Digimon.
You are 100% right.
I just watched a Pokemon like right before we started the podcast. I just watched like a 8-minute video of all of the "so is that your boyfriend" moments in Pokemon. I didn't realize how
my
often
God.
it popped up.
That kind of shit pops up in a lot of stuff that has little kids that shouldn't be even thinking about that shit.
See, that's the thing though. Is like I feel like it was a good move because it opened up the possibility of like shit later. Like I absolutely
Well, like
hate.
to set it up later, yeah, because in the movies, Sarah and I don't know their fucking super Japanese names, but I know it's Sarah and Ty. They were like a couple later on in Try or whatever.
Yeah, but like I hate in series, even if it's like made for kids, that it just doesn't touch on relationships at all because that's like a pretty natural part of life.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is a and I hate when they do touch on it, it's just like a joke, and then they never bring it up again.
Yeah, like at least with Ash and Misty, it was like very fucking obvious.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever came of it,
Brock,
but it was very
Brock
fucking
finally
obvious.
has someone. Brock has a girlfriend.
He's probably
now.
got a few pending court cases.
Really though, hashtag me too. But
I
like,
think he has I think he has a girlfriend or a wife now in like the actual anime.
but like,
But-
wait, how though?
I do not believe that at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that means everyone has grown up around Ash. Because Ash is still
Right, exactly.
a-
Because Misty's like a gym leader or some shit now. She's actually doing stuff.
but that means he's still. Okay, so he's actually just in a coma, right? Like, if other people are growing up and he's not, that just means
See,
he's in a
that's
coma.
another reason I hate watching Pokemon, because he never grows up. He's been doing this for fucking 20 years, and he's still a 10-year-old.
See, I wouldn't mind if it was like Higurashi, where it kept resetting and it was like the same base premise, but like every time something went
But
differently.
then they'd have to use like different characters or something.
Well, I mean, they could just.
That's what they should have just been doing.
I mean, what they could have done is because Ash is marketable, right? So like,
Yeah.
keep Ash and Pikachu as like the same starting set, but like just make him. Oh, he grew up in like Pallet Town, and then he grew up in whatever fucking what's it in Johto, like New Leaf or some shit, like
I almost said New Zealand. It's
like I know it's like
but
New
yeah,
something,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
and then in Hoenn it's like whatever, like
Little Root.
Little Root, yeah. And like just have him grow up in different areas and be like, this is the start of a new anime, you know, and like this is a different Ash, like this is a different timeline Ash. Like,
Well, I mean, they could just use the male characters from those games.
I mean,
you
they
know?
could.
They could just be like, "Here's the new guy," you know.
but like they're not quite as like it's nice to have a marketable thing that's been around for
Well,
20 years.
just give him Ash's personality.
I think they should just give him a look and differ the personality, honestly.
That's true.
But like,
I mean, that's what they did with Ash. Like, he's supposed to be red, but they gave him a distinct look and said he's a different character. So they could just make it be Ash in each new region.
Yeah, and like, I think that would be fine. But like, as it is now, he just doesn't age.
Yeah,
like it would be a good. It would be a good explanation for why he doesn't age. It's like, oh, this is a completely different Ash and a completely different timeline.
The funny thing is that he doesn't age. However, all the episodes of every show is canonical.
Yeah, which means, by the way, he had a birthday in one of the episodes. He turned 11.
He did.
And then now he's 10 again.
You know what it could be?
And I'm supposed to believe that, like, Pokemon League tournaments are happening every couple weeks. Is that what I'm supposed to fucking believe?
Well, no, seasons changed, man.
Well, because like years are literally passing, but
in the show,
he's not aging.
Like,
you know what it is? This is what I know. Exactly what it is. He's a goddamn vampire and doesn't want to tell anybody.
That's why he keeps a bunch of girls around. He needs the blood of virgins.
Like, and you want to know why? Like, he doesn't want his teeth grow in because he doesn't want people to believe that he's a vampire. So he's gotta, for the first full couple seasons, he pulled them. That's why he only had the lip.
Well, the theory is that in like the first episode, when he got attacked by all those fucking birds, he died.
Yeah.
And Ho-Oh blessed him with his last wish or whatever to be a Pokemon master or something. So now he's just having a fever dream. But
or he could just be a ghost, like a very
because ghosts in this world just become Pokemon. Mm-hmm. So
what if he's the Pikachu?
Yeah, yeah. It's like Pikachu won't go in his ball.
Yeah, because if he does, he dies.
Yeah. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to get sucked into the afterlife with you, fuck.
No, it's like, if Pikachu's like the only thing that keeps Ash alive, so if Pikachu ever disappears, Ash just crumbles to dust.
Yeah. It's like a Sixth Sense.
I mean, there have been a couple episodes where Pikachu's dips, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he didn't crumple to dust then.
No, but you know what I mean.
I would like some canonical explanation. I know that they'll never do it, but I would like some fucking explanation.
I want a timeline. Give me a timeline.
Yeah, give me I'm gonna laugh when the timeline turns out. Oh yeah, by the way, in this universe, seasons change per
every week.
A year is way longer than normal.
Yeah. I was gonna say a year is like 46 months.
But I mean, like even then, the issue is he turned 11, and then in the newer episodes, it says 10. Like, it says 10, the narrator says 10. So why can't they just be like, oh yeah, the narrator fucked up, you know? Like, I'd be totally okay with that.
The writing team just screwed up.
Not even just the writing team, just make it
they don't really give a shit.
Like, the in-universe narrator. Just make it the in-universe narrator.
You know what? Just, all you have to do to solve all the issues is the in-universe narrator is Ash from the future.
He's just telling you a bunch of bullshit stories.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
he's
all
actually
like
he's actually like an office worker, and his like kids are just depressed, and so he's telling them these stories to like cheer them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
like some Japanese dude who had to bring his kids to work.
He's just like this is my story. Let me tell you my story. But like he always messes up his age, so he just goes.
Yeah, she just makes him the same age.
Yeah.
She's like, Dad, hasn't like 14 years passed?
Shut the fuck up. Do you want dinner tonight?
There you go. Canonical reason why he's always 10.
Fantastic.
So I saw Joker.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did you?
Week, like on Wednesday. I got to see it super early.
How was it?
How was it?
So if Joaquin Phoenix wasn't doing a really awesome job in that movie, it'd probably be a pretty boring indie movie.
Joaquin Phoenix is the
Joker.
person who played Joker, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was Commodus in The Gladiator.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like literally the only thing I know him from.
I mean, he's been in some weird shit. He was in Her and which other movies? But anyway, so he does an amazing job in this movie. It's great. The ending is really good too, because if this were just some typical guy is mentally challenged and shit type movie, it probably would have just ended with like him either dying or going off and being happy or some other shit, you know, just something, you know, nice and soft, and you know, the ending is the ending, and this, but this was like, all right, because you know how it ends. He ends up being the Joker. This ends triumphantly. This isn't like I've recovered and defeated my demons. This is like I've embraced my demons and now I'm fucking awesome. You know.
Yeah.
So it's super good in that way. There are a lot of really good shots. It's clear the person directing this had vision, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like other DC movies where they're just plugging in these elements to kind of be like a Marvel movie.
I gotcha.
I think DC should do more shit like this where it's just completely disconnected from everything.
Yeah, I think
this was awesome.
I think if you're going to go for any kind of universe thing, you have to start off with not trying to start with the universe.
Yeah, that's what Marvel did. Marvel was just like, hey, they kind of dipped their toes in the water with like Easter eggs and shit like that.
Yeah, which is like maybe we'll make this into a universe, but as of right now, the plan is just to make a good movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they fucked that up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but this is straight up like, all right, the way this ends, they could just never be connected to anything ever, and it'd be fine. You know? Yeah. And like I want them to do this with everything. Like I want just a complete disconnected Superman movie. I want a disconnected Batman movie. You know.
I think comic book movies need more of that.
DC does for sure because their best stories are their Elseworld stories. The stories that have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Like all these stories that are like, hey, what if this happened, or what if this was different, or here's an interesting take on this character, you know, that's not connected to some editorial mandate that says the character has to be this way.
Also, you know? I think it's a good idea for them to just do more villain movies because their villains all have like great backstories.
Yeah, DC's villains are definitely way better than Marvel's villains for sure.
I feel like
except for maybe Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is something different.
The thing is, I like DC's villains because they're much more memorable in my opinion. Like, you got the Superman villains that are kind of like whatever, you know?
But then you got Lex Luthor.
Yeah, or like you have the Joker. Or even like if you want to go anti-heroes, there's like fucking Red Hood, you know? Like
oh yeah.
Yeah. And then you have Darkseid, my favorite.
Yeah, Darkseid's like the villain.
He is the villain.
He's one of those villains who takes the concept of God and really makes you think about it in some fucked up ways.
Yeah. So it's just like I'd like to see a Red Hood movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like Deadpool, but without as much comedy.
Yeah, they recently released Batman Hush, which is supposed to kind of end with the reveal that it was Jason Todd, but they fucked that up and it's shitty. But anyway, the rumors were that the new Batman movie would have some Red Hood elements in it, but I think they changed that. I think that's not going to happen now.
I would just a full Red Hood movie where Batman just shows up for like a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Like where it focuses on like Jason Todd.
Yeah, where it's like a Jason Todd solo movie. You should read if you ever get a wild hair up your ass, you should read the Red Hood and the shit. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Okay.
Not Volume 1, but Volume 2. Volume 1 kind of sucks, but Volume 2 was great.
Sounds like a plan.
And that's basically not solo Red Hood, but it's Red Hood, Bizarro Superman, and Artemis, who's like a Wonder Woman kind of reject. So, and it's really well written, and it's endearing to see these characters. It makes these characters really awesome. It's just really good. You should read it.
All right.
But yeah, DC has always, to me, had more interesting villains, and I've been thinking about it recently. I was like, I want to see more villain shit. Like, I want to see, because I think it's just as important to understand like the villain as you do the hero. So getting movies where, you know, you're like, how did this villain become this villain? You know, that shit's cool, and it gives you an opportunity to tell a different kind of story. Because we fucking told every fucking story you can tell with the hero. I think. Like,
at least from the hero side of things. At least from the hero side of things.
Like, we fucking get it. The hero is a hero because he wants to protect people, or he has a dream, or he has ambition, whatever.
Like,
you know, but why is a villain a villain?
We haven't talked about, like, we haven't had the stories where a hero becomes a hero through coincidence rather than, like, straight up, I have good aspirations. Like, where's the guy who's, like, a thief, but, like, will do good things while he's, like, trying to play up the fact that he's not just doing it for money.
Yeah, because we've been getting a lot of... Because I hate the idea of, like, fate in stories. Like, you were always destined to be the Batman. Like, that's fucking gay. That sucks.
Yeah.
I hate that. Because it's just, like, it takes away a person's choice. You know, it takes away, like, like a person actively engaging in the world they live in.
And I think
if it's just fate says you have to be this way, then that kind of just it takes everything out of it for me.
I also think that as a general statement, people take fate too literally.
Yeah,
like and as for a story aspect,
yeah, it's becoming like almost like Deus Ex Machina shit, where it's like, oh, I'm only like this because the story needed it to happen. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like where like everything seems like black and white, where it's like cause and effect. Oh yeah, you're gonna do this at some point in your life, and then it's just like, oh, like you just told me exactly what I'm gonna do. The way I always see fate is like where it's like, okay, generally as a statement, this is gonna happen. The details aren't there, but it's gonna happen.
Because that's in Joker, where this really could have been anybody, who goes nuts and kills these people. This didn't feel like he was being pushed. This felt like a bunch of shit just kept happening to him. Like, the world is this way, and he reacted to the world, and this could have been anyone. This, like, literally at the end of the movie, there are just, like, people rioting in the streets with Joker masks,
Yeah.
Like, anyone. It could have been anybody.
So, DeShon, I'm going to ask you the stupid media question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this movie dangerous?
No, not at all. If anything, this movie should make you go, we really need to take care of our mentally ill.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
Because basically everything in this movie is because a lot of the stuff that happens in this movie is because people just weren't taking care of people.
Yeah,
we weren't helping each other out. We were either just callous or selfish or too weak. And
but you can't expect people to get the right message, man. I really fucking.
We could if we didn't have a media that was trying to push violence and this kind of bullshit, this controversy.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. I like when I heard that question get popped up multiple times.
Well, now it's becoming a real question because the media is legitimizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's frustrating.
Well, the worst part is, that like every fucking person with a brain that sees the movie is gonna say like, obviously this movie isn't dangerous. It's telling that we should, and like they'll bring in like experts who are psychiatrists or whatever and be like, yeah, no, you should definitely help people, right? Yeah, and then the media's going to be like, we still don't know the answer. It's like, fuck you.
Right, exactly. Here's years and years and years of medical research. We don't know where these crazies come from. These guys are just killing people. Incels. It's fucking retarded.
Well, it's so the same dumb shit that happened with video games like 10 years ago. Where, like, they've finally got around to doing the studies of, like, does this actually affect shit? And then they're like, no, not really. And even still, video games are getting pushed as, like, the fucking medium for
because I was going to say, like, if you really want to, like, read back to it, then it's like, okay, what about movies? Okay, what about books?
Yeah.
Right, what about TV? What about the radio? What about X and Y? What about, plays? What about Shakespeare plays?
Like, the one thing that I heard that was, like, semi... like convincing for me, or not convincing, but like I could see where they're coming from. Is they're like,
it was a salient point.
Yeah, like video games are like, video games are a more interactive medium. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair. But people have been playing fucking war games since God knows, at least the 1950s, right? Like,
yeah,
people have been playing war games for fucking ever. Like,
I mean, how do you think D&D got made off of? It was originally made off of a war game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. Like, this is not the conversation to be having necessarily at this moment, but
it has to do with Joker and its salient, so I guess it has to do with what we're talking about, so it does work as long as we don't get too into it, I guess.
Yeah, I just this is one thing I'm very, very like passionate about, and if I could fix anything in this world, and like especially how people view like quote unquote controversial media, it would be this.
Yeah,
I just the one thing I always laugh about is how America's like, oh yeah, violence, it's okay. Sex? Nah,
no.
Nah. Give it that shit.
Yeah, no titties, not for you.
No titties, no love. Can't show two people actually enjoying each other's company.
Mortal Kombat can show two testicles getting exploded, but can't show no nipples.
Yeah, I don't like. We're the only fucking first world country that essentially does that, though. That's the weird thing.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah. Nobody else really has those hang-ups. I don't know.
I mean,
it's because fucking America
we have a lot of Christian shits
founded by Quakers.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, like one of my favorite.
Not Quakers, Puritans.
One of my favorite things is like if you go look at commercials in other countries, it's like, look at this hot girl eating this burger.
Right,
Go,
yeah. They don't give a shit.
The commercials aren't company. Look at this dude with a giant truck and guns eating this burger.
Look at this fireman holding a hose near his crotch while eating his fat ass burger.
All right. Well, I think that's that.
I think that's a good
Wait,
podcast.
I still got one more thing to talk about before we get out of here.
I do have a couple more things to talk about. Go ahead with yours real quick.
So I watched a show on Netflix that secretly came out that I forgot about. I saw the poster for it a while ago, but I didn't really think much of it at the time. It's a show called Seis Manos.
Seis Manos.
So basically, it's this. It is a melting pot of cultural arts. Okay. It is a martial arts grindhouse film that takes place in Mexico. Okay. That has blaxploitation elements and weird Catholic Satanism.
What a combo!
This at one season and 8 episodes is probably one of my new favorite shows ever.
Okay.
Because the action is great, the characters are great, and the story I won't say is great, but it's fun. It's kind of cool because of the setting it's in. It's very classic. It's reminiscent of old grindhouse films, and it's very like if you like Quentin Tarantino films, if you like Robert Rodriguez films, if you like old ass kung fu martial arts films. There's even a fucking film grain over everything that they just put on. This show's awesome. Fucking cool as shit. It's and you know what, when it starts, I'm like, oh, it's got like, you know, a little kid who comes in to the martial arts dojo and he's gonna start learning all this shit, but then it totally surprises me, and then it just turns into this really cool little action series. I really appreciate it. It's like a sleeper hit, you know. I had no idea that it was going to be coming out like this. I didn't even know it was going to be on Netflix or anything, but I just kind of saw it on there randomly and started watching it. It's super good. Super good. And one last thing, I saw the first episode of Primal, which is Genndy Tartakovsky's new show. Genndy is the creator of Samurai Jack, which is the show. Yep. So, Primal is about Mario and Yoshi's ancestors.
Like,
not literally, but a man jumps on a dinosaur.
Okay.
And they ride around and do cool shit.
Okay, awesome.
But because literally the first episode, I was looking at it, I was like, oh look, Mario and Yoshi are fighting Bowser, because that's kind of how it looks.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's cool though.
But it's one of the best things about this show. No talking. Everything is conveyed through visuals only.
You know what show that I really like that did that? It's an anime. It's called, has Friender in it.
Cashern?
Cashern, yes.
Yeah, but they talk in Cashern.
Yeah, but they don't talk that much. There's a lot of scenes with them just walking through a nice background. What?
Primal?
Yeah?
0 words.
I see.
Period.
Okay. but you know what I'm going for, right? Like, you can see the connection.
Yeah, but literally the entire point of this show is to convey everything through visuals.
Okay. You know, like, that's cool.
Like, the most you'll get is the human character grunting.
Yeah, which
and
is
yelling,
understandable.
and that's it.
Yeah.
No talking.
That's cool.
So it's Genndy Tartakovsky, creator of Samurai Jack, creator of the Clone Wars animated series.
Yeah. So that's got one of the
greatest action animation directors ever.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. Some of the action in this is just fantastic. Brutal violence. You literally watch just when people get eaten by dinosaurs, they get thrown up into the air. You see 1 second where they're looking at the camera, you see the fear in their eyes, and then they get chomped down on.
Ooh, nice.
So, It's dope. Only episode 1 is out. Episode 2 should be out tonight. It's super good. I'm looking forward to more.
All right.
But that's it.
And quick things to close this out. We got PS4's got crossplay. Fuck yeah.
Finally.
Or it doesn't have it technically yet, but developers are allowed to start using it.
Right, stuff that's coming out will now be able to use it. Yeah.
Or things that want to update.
Well,
right, exactly.
Because you know why they're doing that is because fucking Call of Duty was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
and Sony is slowly they're feeling the pressure from not having it because I think everybody else is basically doing it now to some
And
degree. So
especially with the secret, not so secret talk that Xbox and Nintendo are having with their online, Sony's like,
yeah,
"Oh, fuck off."
Microsoft and Nintendo are having a little love affair right now.
Yeah, they are. So
But yeah, that's super
PS4,
cool.
so Sony's got to jump on that.
Yep.
And the last thing I want to talk about was CrossNick Plus. It's a video game of puzzles.
Yeah,
Man.
I saw Wooly playing this, and I was like, man, my brain is dying looking at this. Cameron is probably jerking off watching this video.
Man, so I watched 5 minutes. I couldn't watch their game. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Because they were so bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the concept of it was such an easy thing, and I'm just like, why are they struggling so much? But I don't blame them, because anyone who doesn't do puzzles on a regular basis, I completely get it. I get it. It's going to be difficult for them.
Well, also, it seemed like there were 3 brains, each using 1/3 of their brain.
Yeah, because
You know,
they're on recording, so of course,
Yeah.
like as soon as you click the record button, half your brain goes, gotta make sure everything's working correctly. Gotta
Right.
make sure
And-
everything's
and-
working correctly.
And you're trying to make sure you're getting everything done within a certain amount of time. And you're trying to make sure,
Making sure you're hitting comedy beats and whatnot.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
if they're
So
not
just-
good,
right.
you're still
So
trying
at
to
least
hit
be
them.
talking.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things where I'm like, okay, I get it. They can't just consume the stuff they normally do by processing it, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh, it's not that hard.
Well, it seems just like a Rubik's Cube, but
Yeah.
you can delete the lines when you line them up. So
Yeah, I was gonna say the other thing is that I also saw Rubik's cubes a lot, so like I it's a pastime.
in between all your time, having sex with ladies when you were 7 years old, you were doing Rubik's cubes.
I never said I had sex with them. I just said I was into them. Okay. All right. Yeah, no. I was getting late on the weekly because I could solve a Rubik's cube in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like I walk up.
people in middle school.
Yeah, I mean,
Sup,
you're not wrong.
ladies? Want to see something cool?
Take out my. I literally. So I had a gym bag on me at all times. I had a Rubik's cube and my 3
Just full
juggling
of
balls
Rubik's
on.
cubes.
No, I had 1 Rubik's cube and 3 juggling balls. Man, I was a lame ass person.
You are that guy who does magic tricks at a party.
I am that guy who does tricks at a party because I have a huge fucking ego that is glass proof or not. It's glass. Like it.
Proof?
No, it's glass. It's just glass.
Yeah.
It can get shattered so easily. But
You
like,
guys aren't cool.
I'm cool, right? Yeah, I'm cool. Like, I need. Please tell me I'm cool.
At least you're able to admit that. I know some dudes and some certain YouTubers who aren't willing to admit that.
Oh man, like I have a massive ego that I can repair it very quickly. However, it gets broken so easily.
Yeah, you always bounce back pretty good, especially like when we were kids and we were making fun of you. And
Yeah,
we would like fuck on you about shit, and you'd be like, yeah, do.
I'm dying next to you. Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah, you would be like super bummed 1 minute, and then you'd be totally fine the next. Like you just get over shit.
It's just like because like in the moment it hurts and sucks, but then I realize, oh right, it really doesn't matter. They're just joking around.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh man, it's just hilarious though. Like, so like I anyways, CrossNick is a really cool game. I'm gonna get it because man, that game looks like that game has so many cool little mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at it, I was like, not for me.
Oh man, I'm so sad because I don't have anybody who plays like puzzle games on a regular basis, like competitive puzzle games.
Hey, maybe you should play some good games.
I should, but there are no like really good competitive puzzle games, except for Tetris. Which
I was gonna say, isn't that Tetris on the Switch pretty good?
Tetris 99.
yeah, Yeah, no, that one's amazing. I enjoy it. I'm not as good as Tetris as I used to be. Like, I used to be okay.
That's weird. Okay. I'm actually a kind of a beast at Tetris.
I stopped playing it for a long while because I got really good at I got good at Tetris 99 1v1.
Mm-hmm.
But having the 99 thing gets me. It gets me pretty hard.
Mm-hmm. Because
1v1, you can beat most people 1v1, and then you get in contact with that killer, and then you just lose. And you're like, I lost to the killer. That's fine. Let me go fight these scrubs again, and you just destroy the scrubs again. So it's like, all right, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. But in 99, you'll be like, all right, I'm against these scrubs, 8 of them at once.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So they're not all scrubs. They turn out to be secret killers.
Yeah.
Hidden in the 99.
Oh man, there was one match where I got to like 22, and the person who got third place in that match was it was Auntie something. That was
someone's mom, someone's aunt, some lady.
I was just like, damn, getting crushed by the killers.
People
Sarah from down the street.
People who didn't even know they were killers.
Like, oh yeah, I just play this game all the time. It's a lot
I
of
just
fun.
play this, when I'm on the toilet.
Oh man, you know, my mom was a secret killer at
What?
Crash Team Racing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like oddly specific.
She is so fucking good at that game.
I used to love that game. Oh no, I like tag team racing.
You like tag team racing? I liked, yeah. Anyways, we'll
I've
go
never
ahead.
even touched a game with the words "crash" on it.
Oh, that sucks. You know, I'm if they ever remake Crash Bash, I'm gonna make you play that one.
Oh man.
It's just Mario Party.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hate Mario Party.
Oh well, never mind then. Never mind. I'll still make you play a video for the channel.
Yeah, because it'll be good for me to be nice and angry.
Yep. All right.
We
should wrap this podcast up.
Wrap it up.
Where can we
Before I
find
have to fucking edit a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, I know, right? Where can I find you, Derek?
You can find me on everything at Cayman Second.
And where can we find you, DeShon?
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Urban Buddha. You can find me on YouTube at Mr. Urban Buddha. You can find me on Twitch at The Urban Buddha.
And you can find me at I Press the Buttons on everything. And hey, if you actually made it to the end of this podcast, you should leave a comment down below. And as always, laugh at yourself. We'll catch you guys next time.
I am the hammer. I am the hammer.